So hi everyone. Today I'm going to walk through the dashboard that I have just made. I call this dashboard Nordic Energy Transition Dashboard. So this dashboard actually tells you the electricity and energy transition condition for five Northern Europe countries: Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. And the main question behind this dashboard is how are these five countries progressing toward cleaner, more secure, and more efficient energy systems. And I'm gonna talk first about how I transform and pre-process the data. So basically, this is the raw data that I have, where you can see here each indicator as a column, or we call that like a wide form table. And yeah, actually the I got this data from World Development Indicator data, and it actually covers a lot of data like poverty and inequality, people, environment, economy, and a lot of other stuff. But I'm going to focus on like environment, particularly like energy, just because I've been doing some work and research about energy, and also to make like the storyline and dashboard more focused on one topic only. And yeah, since like I need more data about like energy and electricity, I add my raw data by downloading a lot of indicators and variables that I need from databank.worldbank.org, and I transform that to long form table, where you can see here each indicator as a dimension or a value in a column, just because I want to make it easy when I work with Tableau, when I work with filter, so I can just use this column as a filter. And yeah, that's a brief about how I transform the data. And let's go back again to the dashboard that I have made. So basically, I have these four tabs in here: overview, energy mix, risk and action, and about. And yeah, again, the reason is that energy transition is one of the clearest areas where data can support real decisions. And the key takeaways from this dashboard, or the key findings that I found, is like actually like the Nordic countries, they like generally advance in energy transition. As you can see here, the clean energy electricity share is almost 100%, but they follow different pathway. Like Iceland is different with Denmark, and Norway is different with Sweden, and yeah, they face different risks. So this dashboard helps to make those differences visible, comparable, and actionable. And let's go back again to this overview tab. So at the top, I have like the KPI card in here, which shows you like the value of each indicator. And I'm focusing on this six indicator: CO2 emission, renewable energy consumption in percentage, clean energy share, net energy imports, energy intensity, and electricity consumption. And also, if you hover over the value, the numbers here, you can see like the description of each indicator. And also, again, you have this big number that tells you the value. This one is in 2024. You can change the year in here, and you have like also the description of the changes, how it has changed from 2001 to the date or to the year that you have chosen. And for example, here you can see that the renewable energy consumption, or let's say the clean electricity share in those five countries, has the average of 97.3, and actually it has improved around 30% against to its 2001 values. And yeah, let's move out to the key indicator comparison by country. Um, so it's not only a ranking; it tells you where to investigate. If one country is strong in like clean energy or clean electricity, but weaker in like the energy import or like other stuff. And yeah, using this indicator, you can like directly compare how every indicators perform for every countries. And if you see here, it shows the latest available year. What I mean by that is because every variables has different latest available year. For example, for C2 emission, you can see the latest available year is 2024, but for renewable energy consumption, it's 2021. And again, you can change the year in here. So let's say if you change to 2023, some indicator will be blank just because they don't have the data in that particular year. But if you set to the latest available year, it's gonna be all filled. And again, the next one is electricity source by mixed by country to see like the compositions, how the clean and dirty energy source proportion is. And if you can see here again, most of them is coming from like clean energy. But yeah, Denmark has like the biggest portion of like fossil based source in here, and you can tell from the color. So I grouped them like the gray one is the fossil base, and then the green or teal one is more like the clean energy. And under them, you can see I have two charts in here. So basically the trend from years to year, and then also how far the gap between each country versus the Nordic past. And you can also change like the indicator in here. So again, for example, like the new energy consumption, we can tell that most of them are rising over time, but like Norway is kind of like not really moving, and you can tell from the label I have add in here. So that's the trend, and also how far behind is this country is to tell you like for each indicator, like which country is the best and which country is the worst. For example, in here again, renewable energy consumption, the region best is Iceland with 82.4%, and then the Norway is number second, which is like 21% behind the Iceland. And the worst for this indicator is Denmark. And again, you can just change the indicator through this parameter. And also the next one is I have like the energy mix, which tell you like the compositions, how the proportion for the clean energy against the fossil base, and you can tell from the color again. And I can tell like these five Nordic countries has moving to the right direction. They have like decreased. They have been decreasing the proportion of like fossil based energy, and they use a lot of more like renewable energy from hydro and from non-hydro like wind, solar, and a lot of like non-hydro renewable energy, and it's a good stuff. But yeah, you can also break down in here, and yeah, and you can see like actually if we change the data maybe like to 2002, you can tell like the Denmark has started from a big portion of like fossil fuel, but at the end of the period, at the end of the data, Denmark has changed a lot, even though still the biggest portion comparing to another country. But again, all I can say is the main key takes away they have those five countries has moved to the right directions. But yeah, every country has different path and pattern, and this dashboard is very useful to compare that stuff. And the last one is the risk and action, where I kind of give like an explicit recommendations and action items per country based on the data that I have export in here. And again, you can change the country in here to see the action items that country has to do to, even though they already good, but how they can make it better. And also I have this who's improving fastest in here. It's basically like a heat map where it tells you like what is the average annual improvement per indicator, or like average change rate. For example, like CO2 emissions in Denmark, it has moved or it has improved like 2.5% per year on average. And also the next one is the like the chart that tells you for each indicator. For example, for Norway here, um, how far it is from the Nordic best. For example, in here for Norway, the CO2 emissions, the value is 216, and it's actually like it's behind 45 unit against the Nordic best. In this case, is Sweden with 261, and also for the renewable energy consumption, it's like 300% behind the Nordic best. And the last one that I have is the performance trend and trend matrix, which tell you like which indicator for its countries that have moved in a good direction. So the x-axis tell you like the percentage of changes, whether it is improving or not. And this is the normalized score. Basically, I use like calculations to compare against the best in the best region, the country with the best value in the region. But basically, as you can see here, we have like this quadrant in here which tell you like which indicator from each country is good and has improved the right direction. And the next one is actually this is like just documentations about the project. So yeah, I think that's all from me. But all I can say is, the dashboard is designed to answer like so the main question is like where does its country stand, what is driving the result, where are the risks, and what action should stakeholders consider next. And again, my takeaway is these Nordic countries are generally advanced in energy transition, but they follow like different pathways and face different risks. So yeah, this dashboard could help like the readers, the users, the stakeholders, decision makers to see or to make those differences more visible, comparable, and actionable. I'm Gottfried, and thank you very much for having me today.